Okay, so just for the record, I forgot to start recording. It's okay, not a problem. I hope those are missing the classes. You are seeing the recordings and taking the notes and understanding. Whoever missed me for some reason someday. Anybody missed any of my classes in the last 3 days? Anybody?
Yesterday's class.
Okay. Have you seen the recording? No.
Not yet.
Okay. In the homework group, I sent the link. Okay, for all the parabola classes together, one playlist link. Okay. Somebody seen yesterday I sent in the homework group.
Yes, sir.
All right. So the question is, we have a parabola. We are looking for a particular point where through the three normals of the parabola are concurrent there. Out of these three slopes, product of two slopes is 3. Okay. Like that, there will be a lot of points. What is the locus of all that? Any normal to parabola is this a general form. Substitute that point, you will get a cubic equation. The roots of that are this slope, this slope, this slope. Product of the slopes I used it. And then I know product of two slopes is 3, from that I'll get third slope. And that slope should be root of this. That's why I substituted here. And whatever is possible, I took common and I got this locus. Okay, what the method 2 I'm going to write is very simple. I'll take this at T1 and this at T2. I not even worry about this. Okay. And T1, T2 is 3. Because what is the slope of the normal at 80 square, 280? At 80 square, 280 general point, what is the slope of tangent? What is the slope of normal?
2a by y1 and minus y1 by 2.
That is in terms of x1, y1, in terms of t.
One by t.
Yes, slope of tangent is 1 by t and slope of normal is minus t. In fact, what is the equation of normal? Tx plus y equal to 80q plus 280. So tx plus y means what is the slope? Minus t, right? So if this I take t1, this I take t2, this slope is minus t1, this slope is minus 2, so their product should be 3. Using that, how to find locus of p? I'll discuss that in another method. Anybody any doubt in method 1? Please, if they have doubt, let me tell, I can explain once again. Okay, method 2. I'll take this as T1, this as T2. Minus T1 into minus T2 is product of slopes of normals, which is equal to 3. So T1, T2 equal to 3. And what is the point of intersection of normals? We have derived one formula. A into T1 square plus T2 square plus T1, T2 plus 2 minus A T1, T2 comma T1 plus T2. Okay, A equal to 1 in the place of T1 and T2, let us substitute 3. It will become T1 square plus T2 square plus 5. Here if I put 3, minus 3 into T1 plus T2. I will take this as x comma y. Somehow I have to find relation between x and y without T1 and T2. I have to eliminate them. Okay. So I got x is equal to T1 square plus T2 square plus 5. Y equal to minus 3 T1 plus T2. So how to eliminate T1 and T2? I'm arranging 2 lines here. Is it okay? In method 1?
Yes.
Okay. How to eliminate is very easy. Simply use this formula. A plus B whole square equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB. In the place of T1, T2, using this, what I can write? Y by minus. In the place of T1 square plus T2 square, using this, what I can write? X minus 5. And in the place of T1, T2, I already know it is 3. Okay, this x minus 5 plus 6 is x plus 1. 10, 9 that side. Y square equal to 9 into x plus 1. We got exactly the same answer. You can do like this also. So in the first method, we did not use the parametric form. And in the second method, we used the parametric form. Travya, understood this method? What is your roll number? 374 or something?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Sir,
Yes, please.
after finding P, what did you do, sir?
After finding
P, sir.
P, we did not find P anywhere. Finding P, we equate it to x comma y, and then what is x equal to I wrote, what is y equal to I wrote. Now I want to find a relation between T1, x1, y without T1, T2. How to eliminate? In x, we have T1 square plus T2 square. And in y, we have T1 plus T2. You have to find a connection between them. So I simply used a plus b whole square formula. T1 plus T2 whole square is T1 square plus T2 square plus 2 T1 T2. In the place of T1 plus T2, equating that y coordinate, I got y by minus. And in the place of T1 square plus T2 square, using that x coordinate, I got x minus 5. And T1 into T2 is given as 3. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next question. P comma Q are two variable points on parabola y square equal to 4x. Such that normal set P and Q intersect on the same parabola. Two questions. Find locus of midpoint of PQ. Second one, find locus of point of intersection of tangents at P and Q. Find locus of point of intersection of tangents at P. Okay, those are completed previous one. Try this. P comma Q are two variable points on parabola y equal to 4x such that normals at P and Q intersect on the same parabola. Find locus of midpoint of PQ. Another one is find locus of point of tangents at P and Q. No, Sriyash, very good. Previous question you've done very nicely, simply. Sriyash, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Lokesh, you're doing circuits, advanced material, and past year mains questions, right? Lokesh.
Sir, in advance, 20 questions are left.
Okay.
Sir, by tomorrow, both will be finished.
Okay. Okay, this question, anybody got any idea? Okay. So, through one thing I want to impress upon through this question is, in parabola without parametric form, some questions will be very difficult. For example, you have a parabola, there is a chord, I want to find midpoint of that, but what is P and Q? If you draw normal here, they should intersect on the same parabola. Okay. Here also formula is same, S1 equal to S1 is applicable for all the conic sections I said. So if you take this point as x1 comma y1, the midpoint, you can find this line as S1 equal to S11. That's fine. That is very easy. But after that, it is very complicated because you have to solve this line and this parabola, get this point, get this point. At this point, find normal. At this point, find normal. Find their point of intersection, and that point should lie on the parabola. But finding P and Q is not easy because it's not a given numbers. These are in terms of x1, y1. Even if you know this line, try to solve it. The roots will come like, quadratic equation in terms of x1, y1 and minus b plus or minus. Finding y coordinate, finding normal there, solving. Very complicated. Understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But with parametric forms, it is very easy. You come in just 2 steps only. I'll take this as P1, this as P2. Is there any condition for normals at P1 and P2 to intersect on the same parabola?
P1, P2 is equal to 2. 4.
Yes, that's it. Now it's very, very easy. T1, T2 equal to 2, and your M, whose locus you have to find, is 81 square plus 82 square by 2. 2a T1 plus 2a T2 by 2. So using T1, T2 equal to 2, you have to find, you call this as x and y and find a relation between them. If I take, we'll get x is equal to a into T1 square plus T2 square by 2. And y is equal to a into T1 plus T2. Okay, again we use the simple Laplace b whole square formula. T1 plus T2 whole square is equal to T1 square plus T2 square plus 2 T1 T2. Saket, in the place of T1 plus T2, what can I write? Saket?
Yes, sir.
Using this equation,
Y by A, sir.
this is y by a. Okay. In the place of T1 square plus T2 square, using this, what I can write?
2x by A, sir.
2x by a. And in the place of T1, T2, what I can write?
2, sir.
That's a T1, T2 are gone. We are able to find an algebraic relation between x and y, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So send that side, y square equal to 2ax plus 4a square. That is 2a into x plus 2. So without parametric forms, you can see it's so complicated. With this, we got just like that. Is it okay? So you completed second part of this, you can tell me what is the answer. Anybody want to tell answer for second one? Is there any formula for point of intersection of tangents at T1 and T2? See your notes.
A T1 T2, comma A into T1 plus T2.
Yes. So now you have to find locus of that point. So not locus of that. Nine comma T plus 1 by T. Okay. Look at this point. If I change T, will the point will change or not?
Yes, sir.
Can anybody would tell what is the locus of this point?
X equals to 9.
Yeah. Because whatever you change, y coordinate changing, x coordinate is same for the vertical line, x equal to 9, right? Okay.
The
Now
locus is X equal to 2A.
Yes, that's it. This simple one thing.
Sir, very confused on how to make Y chord.
Yes, that's why I'm asking this question. Okay, so if you take this, take simply these 2 points and draw tangents there. The locus of the point of intersection of tangents at T1 and T2 is A T1 T2 comma A into T1 plus T2. But T1 T2 is 2, so 2A comma A into T1 plus T2. In the place of T2, if you want to write 2 by T1, not an issue. But y coordinate is variable, x coordinate is constant, so locus is x equal to 2. That's all. It's simple vertical line. Okay, everybody clear the second part?
Yes, sir.
Sanjeev, understood?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing second year compared to first year? Are you doing better?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, there's so much I want to teach. So many write-ups of questions are there, but a lot of theory is also there. Okay. Let us discuss a little more. Here also the pole and polar definitions are same. Okay. in circles chapter, if I give a circle, if I give a point, anybody remembers what is the definition of polar? May not be like an Eclipse form. You want to explain what is polar? Anybody?
Sir,
Yes.
take a point inside or outside the circle.
Okay.
Draw. If you take a point inside, then draw the possible chords passing through it.
Okay. I will take inside. Draw possible chord passing through it. Okay.
Take a chord intersects a chord touches the circle at 2 points.
Chord
Draw
intersect the circle at 2 points. Okay.
draw a tangent from external point to that endpoints of the chord
Draw tangents at the endpoints. Okay.
from an external point.
No. We don't even know that point. Draw tangent here, they will intersect somewhere.
They will intersect somewhere. Similarly, many chords will have tangent intersected. So locus of all those points where the tangents intersect is the pole.
Yes, correct. So, if you want polar definition, locus of a point whose chord of contact passes through given point is a line, and that line is called polar. If you want to explain it, you can say draw many chords through the given point. At the end of each chord, draw tangent that intersect at one point. Locus of that all the points is a line, and that line is called polar. In parabola also same. Take any point inside or outside, draw many chords. At the end of that, you draw tangents. They will meet at some points. The locus of all those points is a line that is called polar. And formula is same. If this point is x1, y1, this line is s1 equal to 0. And again, if point is inside, the line will be outside. If point is on the parabola, the line is tangent. If point is outside, the line will be chord of contact intersect. And pole definition is same. If I give a parabola and a line, take different points. From each point, you draw tangents. They'll one chord of contact. Draw another tangent, you will get another chord of contact. Take another point, draw tangents, another chord of contact. All of them are concurrent at a point, and that point is called pole of this line with respect to this parabola. Okay, so pole and polar same definition as circle. Formula is also same. At least that means if point is given, the polar is s1 equal to 0. Pole can change because your equation is changing. So just we'll write few statements about it. Okay. I'm not going to write definitions and all. It will take a lot of time to give more for that. Okay. Polar of point x1 comma y1 with respect to any conic s equal to 0 is s1 equal to 0. So I don't have to repeat in ellipse and hyperbolas after this. Okay. Only pole I have to write. Pole of line Lx plus my plus n equal to 0 with respect to parabola y square equal to 4ax is something. How to find that? We have to compare. Take Lx plus my plus n equal to 0. Let us compare with s1 equal to 0. S1 means what? y1 equal to 2ax plus 2ax1. And I bring here 2ax minus y1y plus 2ax1 equal to 0. This is n. When I compare, I will get, I'll take this by this. 2a by l minus y1 by m, 2ax1 by n. If I compare first and last, I will get x1 equal to n by l. If I compare this and this, I will get y1 equal to minus 2a m by l. So that's the formula. N by l comma minus 2a m by l. Okay, this is the pole of a line with respect to a parabola. That too y square to 4x only. Whenever you don't remember, you can always do this process of comparison. Okay, explanation of 2%. Okay, is it clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, now parabola has many nice properties. Okay, please go to heading properties of parabola. Basically, some interesting features of the parabola. First point, before I write it, you take parabola y square equal to 4ax and take a point a comma 0, that is focus. Find polar of the focus. What will come? Let's do s1 equal to 0. What will come? Y into 0, 2ax plus 2a into a.
X equals to minus 2.
Yeah.
X equals to minus.
Or x plus a equal to 0. What is this?
Directrix.
Yeah. So, first point is the polar of directrix, polar of focus. Actually, it is true for all conic sections. Polar of focus is directrix, even in ellipse and hyperbola also. But in this one, I want to write many more points. What is polar of focus is directrix means? Tangents at the ends of any focal chord intersect on directrix. Intersect on directrix. That is the meaning of that. Another way of saying same thing is chord of contact of any point, product of any point on directrix passes through focus. Okay, all these are same. So if you take a parabola, this is the focus, this is the directrix. Take any point and of course we generally don't draw parabola that nicely. Okay, like this and like this. This is the chord of contact. It always pass to focus. Okay. This is S and this is x plus a equal to z directrix. Okay, so take any chord through focus. At the two ends, you draw tangents. They will meet on directrix, and similarly, take any point on the directrix, draw two tangents. The chord of contact will pass to focus. So actually, we can understand this another way. If I take this as T1 and this as T2, you already know T1, T2 equal to -1, and we also know point of intersection of tangents at T1 and T2 is a T1, T2, comma a into T1 plus T2. In the place of T1, T2, if I put -1, what will happen to x coordinate?
Minus a.
Minus a. If x coordinate is minus a, that point will lie on what?
Directrix.
Directrix. Okay. So simply based on T1, T2 equal to -1, it is possible to tell that this point, which is the point of intersection of tangents at the end, should lie on directrix. Or take a comma 0, do s1 equal to 0, you're getting polar as directrix. Either way it's okay. Right. Not just that, this angle is 90. Which angle? The angle between the two tangents. So that is the second point. Tangents drawn at ends of any focal chord are perpendicular. Tangents drawn at ends of any tangent, at ends of any focal chord are perpendicular. Same point. Tangents to parabola from any point on directrix. Tangents to parabola from any point on directrix. Or perpendicular. Okay, so take any point on directrix, you can draw two tangents, definitely they will be perpendicular, or take any focal chord at the end of draw tangents, they will be perpendicular, they intersect on the directrix. How did I prove this? Anybody want to tell? How to prove this that they are perpendicular? What is the slope of tangent at T1?
-1.
1 by T1.
1 by T1.
Yeah, and slope of tangent at T2 is 1 by T2. And what is the product of the slopes? 1 by T1 into 1 by T2. Okay, yeah. So product of slopes of tangents is equal to 1 by T1 into 1 by T2. 1 by T1 T2, but T1 T2 is -1 because their focal chord, you will get -1. Okay, that is the explanation. If tangents are perpendicular, even normals also will be perpendicular, right?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
normal here, because normals are perpendicular tangents. So when you say tangents, if you want, you can add one more statement. Normals at ends of focal chords also perpendicular. Normals at ends of focal chord are perpendicular. Can I say, if you take any focal chord, the two tangents at the ends and the two normals at the ends, they'll form rectangle?
Yes, sir.
There will be one normal here, one normal here. This is all angles are 90. If all angles are 90, it has to be rectangle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yes, please.
so what did you write this a product of?
Slopes.
Okay, sir.
Product of slopes. This slope of tangent is 1 by T1. This slope of tangent is 1 by T2. So T1, T2 is minus. Okay, these two tangents are perpendicular. This is one way to prove it. You can also prove another way. You don't have to write it, but just you can listen. Okay, let me ask a different question. If I take y square equal to 20x and I'll give a point outside that some -5 comma, okay, 7. From this point, I can draw two tangents to the parabola. These are the two tangents. This is -5 comma 7. Okay, anybody want to give an idea how to find this slope and this slope? Not -5, let us say -6 comma 4, something like this, some random point. Some I gave external point from the two tangents can be drawn. How to find slopes of these two tangents? Anybody?
Sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, we know the equation of tangents of a parabola now, sir. We should substitute this point in that equation.
Yes, and what is the
quadratic equation of M? Then
very
we
good.
can get slopes.
Good. What is the formula for tangent? There is a general tangent if you substitute in the tilde form. Anybody remembers what is the general tangent to parabola y is equal to 4x?
S1 equals 0.
That is, if you know point on the parabola, S1 equals 0. What is the general tangent?
2ax minus y1 plus 2ax1 equals to 0.
That is at x1, y1. You cannot call that general tangent because
y equal to mx plus a by m.
Yes. The general tangent is y equal to mx plus a by m. In terms of slope, I must. Of course, we also have x minus by plus at square equal to 0. If you use the first one and substitute this point at the place of x and y, you'll get a quadratic equation in terms of m. You'll get this slope and this slope. If you use second one and substitute this point, you'll get a quadratic equation in terms of t. You'll get two values of t. One for this point of contact, another for this point of contact. If you want to find points of contact, use the second one better. If you want to find slopes of the tangent, use the first one better. Right? Okay. So another way to prove that if you take any point on the directrix, the tangents are perpendicular is, or what is the locus of the point from which I can draw perpendicular tangent? You take this point as x1, y1, substitute it here, you will get m square x1 minus my1 plus a equal to 0. Product of the slope should be minus 1. What is the product of the slopes? A by x1 equal to minus 1. You will get x plus a equal to 0. Okay. I wanted to do a lot of questions. Due to lack of time, I am not doing now. Later on, I may do it. But the thing is, they can ask product of these two slopes is 5. What is the locus? Sum of these two slopes is 7. What is the locus? Sum of the squares of slopes of these two tangents is 9. What is the locus? All are from this equation only. Take general tangent. Take this x1, y1, substitute it. You get a quadratic equation. If they say sum is constant, from this quadratic equation, find the sum and equate it. If they say product is constant, find the product and equate it to whatever number they want. I think we've done this kind of questions in circles chapter. Am I right? m1 plus m2 is constant. What is the locus? m1 into m2 is constant. What is the locus? m1 square plus m2 square. Like that. We can have, actually, as I said, if you do circles properly, almost similar questions. Formulas may be changing, but similar questions will be coming. So in this way also, we got the directrix here. I'll try to do a few questions a little later. I'm planning to cover few things. Okay, so I hope everybody is clear. In total, just now what I made is, you take any parabola, this is the focus, this is the directrix. Take any focal chord and draw tangents there. They will definitely intersect on the directrix, and that too they are perpendicular. And the normal here, this angle is 90, this is also 90, this is also 90. They draw properly. Okay. So if tangents are perpendicular, even normals are perpendicular, and one tangent, one normal perpendicular. One tangent, one normal perpendicular. It is always a rectangle. You take any focal chord, at the end you draw tangents and draw normals. They will form a rectangle. Normals are perpendicular, tangents are perpendicular. Tangents will intersect on the directrix. Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Third point. Take a parabola, take any point and draw tangent there. Draw normal there. This is P. Focus is somewhere here S. Where tangent is meeting axis, I want to call it as P. Where normal is meeting axis, I want to call it as N. Okay. And point P is 80 square comma 280. This is tangent and this is normal. Okay. I wanted to write, it's also theory only, but I wanted to fill few things. Okay. What is coordinates of P? What is coordinates of N? What is SP distance? When you tell coordinates of T only, I want SP distance. Coordinates of N and then SN distance and then SP distance. Please find all these things. Where tangent at 80 square comma 280 intersecting x-axis, find coordinates of that. Where normal at point P, where it is intersecting x-axis, what is that point? What is the formula for equation of tangent? X minus ty plus at square equal to 0, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, we will y
Yeah,
equals to minus 8, sir.
X minus 2y plus at square equal to 0. This is dx plus y is equal to 82 plus 8.
Sir, minus 8 square comma 0, sir. T equals to.
Yeah, you put simply y equal to 0, you'll get a minus 80 square comma 0.
Sir, n is 80 square plus 280 comma 0.
80 square plus 2a.
Yes, sir, 2a.
Okay.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, S equals to a minus a plus a square.
St is equal to a plus 80 square because this is a comma 0, this is a minus 80 square when you find distance. A plus 80 square, that is the distance. Okay. What is Sn?
Sir, Sn is 80 square
A plus
3A.
a square plus 2a.
I am asking not
80
distance to
square is
vertex. I am asking distance to focus, not distance to vertex.
Sir, a square plus a.
That is also 80 square plus a. Because from 80 square plus 2a, you have to subtract a, na? Right? See, this is minus 80 square comma 0. This is a comma 0. This is 80 square plus 2a comma 0. If you want this distance from this, subtract this. That is this. If you want this distance from this, subtract this. That is this. Is it okay? A minus 80 square, which is a plus 80 square. This is actually 80 square plus 2a minus a, which is 80 square plus a. What is the SP distance?
A into t square plus 1.
Yeah. Did we discuss earlier that for any point focal distance is simply x coordinate plus a? Yes. So directly 80 square plus a. Okay. It is x plus a, which is 80 square plus a. Okay. So SP also came 80 square plus a. ST also came 80 square plus a. SN also came 80 square plus a. You want to conclude anything?
Sir, it is circumcenter, sir.
Okay. Anything more you want to tell? It's correct. S is circumcenter. S is circumcenter of a triangle TPN. Yes. This is a right angle triangle. For a right angle triangle, where is the circumcenter?
Center of hypotenuse.
Yes, midpoint of hypotenuse, right? So it is that also. Okay, right? Anyway, just you can write S is the midpoint of TN, which is basically hypotenuse here. Hypotenuse of triangle TPN. Okay. Now, I want you to draw a separate figure, even though we use some of those things. I want you to draw it here. Same figure, will not meld all the details there. This is a tangent, this is a normal. I want to draw one horizontal line here. This is P, this is N, this is T. This is S, I want to join here. I want to tell these two angles are equal, alpha and alpha.
Yes, sir.
Why? Because this length and this length are equal, right? Isosceles triangle, right? So triangle SPT, if you take that, angle STP is equal to angle SPT. STP, standard temperature and pressure, is equal to SPT. Here also we got something equal. What is that? Sn and Sp. Sn and Sp. So if this is beta, this is also beta. Opposite Sp, opposite Sn. Because here this side is equal to this side is equal to this side. Okay. So if I take triangle SPN, then angle SPN is equal to angle SN. Is it okay, everybody? I want to extend this tangent, extend this normal. Through P, I want to draw one horizontal line. Okay, through P, I want to draw one line parallel to axis. I want to give some name, X here, X dash here. Okay. Can I say this angle is also beta? This one.
Yeah,
This
sir.
angle is beta. How?
Alternate.
Alternate angles.
Yes, alternate interior angle, this one and this one. Okay. So you can just say construct X dash parallel to okay, TSN line. Maybe the axis, parallel to axis, you can write parallel to axis. Okay, now angle XPN is equal to angle SN. Angle SN. Alternate interior angles. Okay, so this is also beta now. Okay, so these two are equal because of isosceles triangle. These two are because of alternate interior angles, and that means these two are equal now. Okay, so now because these two are equal, I can say PN, that is normal PN, is it visible here? Yes, is angular bisector. Normal PN is angular bisector of angle SPX. Normal PN is angular bisector of angle SPX. Okay, I hope everybody is able to understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the first half I am erasing it. Anybody any doubt or wants time to copy?
Sir, do we have parabola for exam?
Yes.
So till what extent we have?
In mains up to 40 questions, and in IP only first exercise.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
By tomorrow, can everybody complete mains up to 40? parabola?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You might have already completed up to 25 or 30, right? Yes. So IP parabola first exercise, any doubts? Means first 40 questions, any doubts? Tomorrow I'll discuss in the class. Tomorrow mostly doubts I'll clarify. If time is left, I'll teach something, otherwise I'll not teach. And tomorrow I'll tell you, you have to submit IP first exercise homework and mains 1 to 40 both.
Okay.
Tomorrow, sir.
Tomorrow after the class is over.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Forget about this. This is some curve. I don't even know what is the curve. Okay. It is silvered here. I am sending one light ray like this. Okay. How to know how to draw reflected ray here?
Draw a tangent at the point and
Sir, and we should-
consider the tangent at the as the plane surface and
Okay. Draw tangent there. Okay. After that, what?
sir, consider the tangent as a line, sir, and draw the reflection.
Okay. I think better than tangent, normal is the best. Tangent is also correct, nothing wrong. To draw the normal and then find reflection of this with respect to normal, it will be like this. Of course, if the reflection with respect to normal, the reflection with respect to tangent also. Right? Okay. You know, even in your physics, they say always angles are with respect to normal. Even though they can say with respect to tangent also angle of incident ray equal to angle of reflected ray, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But they always talk about in terms of normal, right? I think we have this incident ray, normal and reflected ray, they lie in the same plane. And angle between normal and incident ray, angle between normal and the reflected ray are same. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in the beginning of the chapter parabola, I said, you take any line parallel to axis, after reflection, they all will pass through focus. Did I say that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We just now proved that. You know why? Is this the normal?
Yes, sir.
If you send a light ray like this and this angles are equal, this is incident ray, this angle of incidence, this is angle of reflection. After reflection, what is the normal reflected ray passing through?
Okay.
Focus. So proved. So we proved reflection property of parabola without any assumptions. Okay. Okay. So normal PN is angular bisector of SPX. So how should I write this? Okay. So any light ray, any ray I can write, any ray parallel to axis. After reflected by parabola, will pass through focus. Will pass through focus. Okay. Of course, whenever normal is bisecting, even tangent is also bisecting. So I want to prove how this is alpha now. That is angle x dash PSPT is equal to angle STP, alternate interior angles. So tangent at P bisects angle between Px dash and Ps. Tangent at P bisects angle between Px dash and Ps. Okay, so parabola has some more properties of this sort. We will discuss maybe tomorrow, if not day after tomorrow. Okay.